federal judge dealing Fulton County a huge loss in court. The county was trying to regain custody of ballots cast in the controversial 2020 election after the FBI seized them during a raid back in January.
Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon joins us now live from outside the Fulton County Government Center in downtown Atlanta. So, Doug, walk us through the next steps here after this significant ruling.
Right, well, good evening to you both. And Fulton County officials have already told me that they plan to challenge this ruling in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. That is kind of their last-ditch effort to try and get these ballots back. And if you remember back to January 28th, the FBI ended up leaving their elections headquarters with about 600 boxes, every single ballot that was cast in that 2020 election. And a federal judge said just yesterday, for now, they can hang on to them.
I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed.
Fulton County Commissioner and Secretary of State candidate Dana Barrett said Fulton will very likely appeal a ruling keeping all of their 2020 ballots in the custody of the FBI.
It was a very high bar to meet this callous disregard for our constitutional rights.
And that's exactly what federal judge J.P. Boulay wrote in Wednesday's ruling. While he agreed the blatant raid on the county's election hub back in January was indeed unprecedented, writing, quote, the seizure in this case was certainly not perfect. He went on to also write, quote, petitioners have not shown that their rights were callously disregarded, either through supposed defects in the warrant or through the manner in which the warrant was executed. Commissioner Barrett says if the government can just come in and take what they want, her concerns are more for the future than over past actions.
We have to stake our claim about the 2020 ballots because we want to be able to stake our claim about the 2026 ballots and the 2028 ballots, primaries, generals, and all of that.
If Fulton County got the ballots back, they would hide them from the voters for another 5 years.
The ruling was viewed as a win for election skeptics like Garland Favorito, founder of election integrity group Voter GA. He says the ruling should give county voters more confidence in upcoming elections.
It's more likely to increase confidence if Fulton County knows they're under additional scrutiny from not just the state election board, but from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice.
And adding to the tension here, and speaking of the Department of Justice, they filed a suit to gain the information. We're talking phone numbers, names, addresses, email addresses of some 3,000 people who helped Fulton County with that 2020 election. Just here yesterday during their board meeting, Fulton County Chairman Rob Pitts said they would take every legal action they could to fight that. We're in Fulton County tonight in downtown Atlanta. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.